Hi there, and welcome to part 2 in our series React, Improve and Prosper. My name's David Colman, and for many years I've been working with small to medium businesses to assist them to grow and thrive. And so we've decided to put together a number of small webinars to assist our small and medium businesses in the change that's occurring currently as we move out of lockdown from the pandemic and back into a more normal style of environment and business. And there's been a lot of challenges and changes for everybody to be involved in. And so, as I said, we have a number of small webinars. This is number 2. The first one is a bit of an introduction. We're getting into how to make these changes and what we're going to do. Today, we're going to focus on the customer, which is fantastic, and the changes that have occurred there. I'd like to share my presentation with you, which I'll do now. And we'll get straight into it as we go. So with React, Improve and Prosper, what has happened here is COVID-19 has caused major disruptions to business, small and medium and large business. But business has changed, and coming back, it's going to be very different from how we actually conducted business 3 months, even just as much as 3 months ago. You're going to have an understanding of where your customer is at, what they're doing, what their change patterns are, and communicate back to your customer how you've changed, how you've had to manage your business, and how you now present to the customer, and how you want your customer to actually perform and to act with you. So it's a real change that we all have to communicate both ways. As the business owner, you've got to take the lead here and let the customer know what has happened. You have to actually then, we're going to look a little bit later at how we actually create those changes so that when you're coming back out of lockdown, you've actually got that opportunity to create some income, some revenue immediately. And then we're also going to have a look at how we can improve, grow, enhance, and prosper our actual businesses and our revenues. The laws have changed across the country. We have to actually take advantage of these law changes in the best possible way. Things have occurred to make business different, and it's going to be different. To most of our businesses, we're food venues, if we're retail shops, if we simply are office to office and business to business, the way we are doing business will have changed and has changed with our staff, with our customer, with our suppliers, and everything on the way through. So we're going to analyse, we're going to take action, and we're going to build a plan to succeed further into the future. So that's what today's about, and we're going to get into that, and hopefully you'll find some interesting information that you can implement and act in your own business. So there's 3 parts to our plan that we're going to look at as we go. What's happened, we've been in the react mode. So that's where we've had to spend time pivoting to the disruption, which has been COVID-19, the pandemic. We've had to scramble to keep ahead of the changes of the pandemic, and with the government changing the rules every day there throughout March and early April, as small businesses, we were continually changing. For some of us, that meant taking our businesses from a full service business to a part-time business, maybe to a delivery service. We have created online opportunities. We have created a different way of communicating with our customer, and our customer has created different ways of communicating with us because they may not be in the same place that they were when we were servicing before. So there's been a whole lot of different ways that we've been managing to build our business. We've turned to an online world as well, and we're going to look at that a little bit later. Very important in business in 2020 for the next 6 months is to have an online presence, and we'll go into that a little bit further. With the lockdown restrictions being lifted, and we started to take action to get back and restart our businesses, we're going to move into what we call the improve phase. And as I said, we're going to take this action to restart our business, and we're going to focus on what you've got to do to actually take that business and to restart your business yourself. So it's very exciting. Here we go. You finally get back into your shops, finally get back into your offices, into your industrial spaces, wherever it may be, and you can actually start having customers coming, going, and creating that. It's different. It may be more limited than it was before, but we start to look at some revenue. We've also got our people coming back. We've had a little look at people yesterday, and we'll have a look at people as we go forward. And then we're going to have a look at our planning stage, which we call our prosper stage. And we need to look at planning and then implement those plans to win new business opportunities. The big thing coming out of the lockdowns is that there's going to be new opportunities that may have not been there for you before. So you've got to look at this. You can redo your business. And if you have been running a successful business and this has been a very big inconvenience and you think you just go back and run your successful business, good on you. That's great. But what we're looking at also is for those businesses who want to grow, those businesses who want to become more successful, those particular businesses have got a real opportunity out there to take advantage of some of the disruption that's out there. For years, we've heard about disruptive businesses that take advantage. Well, here's your chance. You know, maybe your competitor hasn't come out of the blocks as well as you have. Maybe they haven't been able to develop such a great service. Maybe this webinar will help you plan some of the ideas that you can just go out there and grab some extra market share. So hopefully we can help you with that. So as we're saying, times have changed. Small, medium business is the Australian economy. The majority of Australians are employed by small business, and this is why we've all been hit so hard, and our economy been hit so hard by the shutdown. Some big business, some big manufacturing business haven't really been affected that much as they're so automated. But we, who are very much face-to-face, small business, you know, with dealing people to people or small business to small business, there's been a huge affection with the change through the pandemic. This is why we're running a series of webinars just to give you some assistance around how you can react and improve to set up for your prosperity. What you do now can really affect your ability to prosper in the future. How you come back, how you reopen your business, how you perform in front of your customer, your clients, your supply chain, and in front of your competitors. So how you actually work and come out of this area can really affect your future business. The one thing it will do is going to require a great deal of flexibility. What was before may not be in the future. We're going to need your determination. And as we know, small and medium business owners have the greatest determination. That's why you're doing what you're doing. That's why you're out there and not working for somebody else. It's going to require you to dig deep, go back and get all that fortitude that you've had before. And the other thing for small business, we're going to need your persistence. It's going to be a bit of a journey through recovery, and we're going to have to keep pushing and pushing. So we've created 3 phases that we can take action around as we come back online. So we have the analyze phase, and this is where we're going to look at where your business is today and what's been happening with your business and how you've had to react and pivot to the pandemic. We're looking at the recommence phase. So what actions can you take right now in your business to start? How can you turn your business on? So, and really looking forward to getting you out there and recommencing and getting your business up and running immediately. And finally, we're going to add in that enhance phase. And this is where we look at what changes you can make to grow. How do you take advantage of the changes around you, around your customers? Your customers change behaviors, and we're going to go into that, and your suppliers and your service partners. So really, really interesting about how your customer changes. And we're going to look at why your business may need to pivot and change further, depending on what your customer is up to and where they are. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to look at 6 phases in the business. You've got your client, customer, your cash flow, your supply and partners, staff, technology, and business space. Today, we are going to concentrate on the client, customer. So it's part 2, section 1, client, customer. We're going to have a look at how we analyze, recommence, enhance our client-customer relationship. So discovering your new customer. The next section, over the next few slides, the next few minutes, we're going to run through how both your business expectations and your customers' expectations may have changed over the past few months, how this reflects on your business, and how you can reconnect with your customers, and what opportunities for your business are available if this is done successfully. So really, really important section, because without the customers and without your clients, we don't have business. So this is a really, really important section to get into. It's why we're doing it first. We're doing it before revenue. We're doing it before supply chain, because we need to get the customer back on board. We need to re-engage. We need to find new customers and work with them the best way possible in the current circumstances. So where is your business today? So the three sections we're going to look at over this new section where we're analysing our business is we're going to look at the changes that have occurred in your business. We're going to look at how also the changes that have occurred with and to your customer. And by that might be their commuting changes. That might be the fact that they're actually still working back at home. If you have physical customers, that might be that they've actually enjoyed becoming an online customer to somebody. Someone is now servicing what you were supplying in an online basis. So we need to find out what changes have occurred with our customer, and also how much this impacts your business in a positive or negative way. And so we're going to look at that over the next few slides. First up though, I want you to actually make sure that you've got some writing material, pen, pad, iPad, whatever it might be, for your plan. Because this is where we start. We need to take notes. We need to create a document to write down your analysis of the business so that you can build your plan for success. So even though you're in this, you've done this, write down where you are. We need this at the end, and I'm going to explain at the end why. So I want you to write down where you are now. And it's all about where you are now, where you're going to go, how you're going to get there. But because of the pandemic, we need something else on top of that as well. And we're going to come to that towards the end. So let's create this document as we move through the next few slides. Write down what you've got to do. So where is your business today? The question, do your customers understand the changes that have occurred to your business? So how well do you know your customer? And how do you understand their needs and wants at this time? We're looking at who are your customers. So how well do you know your customer? And for you, some of you in a retail business or in a food business, you may see your same customer every day. And so you have got to know them. You may know their name. You may know their order. They may come in because you do their ham sandwich exactly the way they want it with the coffee that they like. For many of us, also others in a retail business, we will know our customers regularly, but it's not every day. And sometimes in a service business, it might be less regularly again, but we might have bigger orders or to deal with, and we have many, many more customers. But where are our customers now? As you have, they have been impacted through this period of time, through the lockdown. So what has happened to their comeback? If they're a consumer customer, are they coming back through the same doors? Are they taking the same commute? Are they actually coming back? If they're an office or business customer, have they been in lockdown? Are they now working from home? Are there people working from home? Are they working a different way? Your supply chain, what is happening with that supply chain, and how is that going? How is that going for them? And do they, is their business able to service you as a supply chain? So are you proactively communicating with your clients? And how are you going to communicate with your clients into the future? So we're going to look at, do you have the ability to communicate with your clients right now? Also, I want you to take a note to go and have a look at your legal contracts and your contractual obligations, especially with suppliers. If you're dealing with suppliers and you feel that as you reach out and you talk to your suppliers, that they don't have the ability to service you anymore. Their business, their individual business, may not be on rebound. It may not be coming back, or their service levels may not be able to be lifted to the level that you need, especially if you're looking at growth. Then now may be the time to have a look at those, contractual obligations and rediscuss them. I'm not saying change them, but it might be the idea now to rediscuss them. We're all going to change. We have customers, you might be their customers or their supply chain. So it's a good time to have a look at that as well. Questions. Do you understand the changes that have occurred to your customer? So I just touched on that a minute ago. What has happened to your customer? What is their, they've been in lockdown too, so what has happened to that? So it's one thing for them to understand your business, to know that you've got social or physical distancing happening, to know that you've built an online or a delivery service, but what's happened to your customer? Are they commuting to work? Do they come in? If we look at the city right now, less than 20% of the offices that are open have people walking into them. The work from home has been so popular with the big businesses in the city that people don't want to come back. They don't want to spend the hour commuting. They don't want to spend the time away from their family. They could walk downstairs, they could walk into their office space and they're ready, set, go. So there's been a whole pushback around, well, maybe I don't need to be there all the time. Now, does that affect the person who creates the opportunity for them to get to the train station? Does that affect the person who serves them a coffee on the way out of the train station into their office, and the people who serve them lunch during the day, and the shops that sell them a blouse or a shirt during that particular day, or maybe a suit once a week or once a month or whatever it may be? It's a whole roll of impact simply on that one person not going back to work today. So what is your customer? What is your client? Where are they at the moment? And you need to start to ask these questions, to pick up the phone or to communicate with the questions. As I said, point 3, will this impact on their buying? Well, it will if they're not there. It will if they're also on stand down. It will if they're being made redundant. It will if they're actually working less hours for less money. So their income may have changed, therefore their ability to spend may have changed. As I've said, has your walk-by trade changed? If you're near a hub, a travel hub, you will have noticed it's not as busy. So what in your business is needed? Maybe it's one of your clients. Maybe you're a design or a marketing company and one of your major clients no longer has the trade. That's going to affect your revenue. You need to find out what your clients are doing. So it's really, really important. Just talking recently to a panel beater. It wasn't crashed, thank goodness, but to a panel beater. And through the pandemic shutdown period, instead of doing 8 to 10 cars a day, they were doing 2 or 3 a week. And I thought, well, fair enough. None of us were driving. So people weren't having accidents. A couple of people coming in for longer term repairs, but there was no major accidents. There was nothing happening. And so I thought, wow, here's a panel beater who's been affected from the fact that the travel restrictions has put their business down. And once again, travel, and that's a whole new corner there of if you're servicing that particular part of the world, that's changed completely. So what changes will happen in the consumer behaviours and how do they affect your business? And so write them down, get them in, because later we're going to work out how to take advantage of those consumer changes. In our third bit of analysis, question is, what effect will this have on your business? We just touched on that there. Has your customer behaviour changed and what can you do to meet their needs? So we write down, okay, what have I got to do to change because my customers change? My potential revenue is under threat. What other opportunities are there out there? So as I said right at the beginning, the way you have done your business may not be the way we're going to do our business into the future. If you can enhance and grab both, that's fantastic. But you may not be able to do that. So we just need to be really assured around what we're going to do. And where do you find the new customers? And is this online? And if it is online, how do you get online? Have you got a good online presence? And if you don't worry. But now is the time to start that. If you don't have a good online presence, you need one. The one thing we learned from lockdown is online works for every business. And if you're the local food shop, you're the marketing shop, you're the office, wherever you may be, your online presence needs to grow and your social presence needs to grow. Are your current staff capable of dealing with the multiple channels that may now be available and to service or sell to your customer or client? So you've got to look at your staff and your people. You may have had your people off. but they're now coming back. So what is out there, and how good is your staff at able to maybe transitioning into a multiple role rather than just having a singular role that was successful in your business before? Do you have the right people? It's time to look at that. Make sure that you have the team you need to head into the future. So you can analyze where your business is today. Look at your current premises. Is it satisfactory for the layout for the new customer? With physical distancing, is that a problem for you? And that it's just not retail shops or service shops. We can talk about office buildings. We're going to talk about office space and having enough space in those particular businesses. But then again, if half your team is working off-site, is it okay? I've been talking to some businesses that are not going back to office space. They're going to be completely off-site, and meet once a week in a hired space. Others are bringing people back in and having to get more space because they need more room for the same people. But what works for your business? And having a look at your current premises and the layout to make sure it works for you as well. Writing down. Now, you may be in leases, you may not be able to change that circumstances immediately, but we're talking about plans in our third section where we're looking to enhance our business. So this is where we bring this back. So in our second section, we're discovering the recommence phase. So this is where we are now. We're out of lockdown. So what items, what actions, can you action straight away? What can you do? You're going to look at your customer communication. How are you connecting with your customers? Are you online? Facebook, Insta, Twitter, email, blog, letterbox drop. What is happening around that, whatever that may be? What new business opportunities are being created for you today? What is there in front of you that you just need to grab and take hold of, that you can do right now, you can see and go? And what other areas of business are available for you to satisfy your customers' needs? Can you multitask with a singular customer because one of their supply chain, one of their other people that they deal with is not there? Maybe it might be a competitor who is not open, is not ready, doesn't have the ability to bring people back, their staff didn't come back. Maybe they just closed and it got too hard and they never came back. So you can take that product line and add it to what you have. So these are the opportunities that can be ahead of us, and we'll have a look. I've come back to my pad. We need to now look at this to continue to create our document, but a completely fresh document so that we can marry them in a bit later, outlining the steps for your business to action now. And this is the one we're going to look at. Analyze, action now. This is where we make money today. And we need to get back into revenue streams as fast as possible. So, are you connecting with your customers? What sort of communication do you have? Electronic and social. Do you have a database of some form? And if so, you should be communicating with your customers and keeping them informed about your business, about how you've managed to pivot with the restrictions, when you're ready to welcome them back. And what sort of product lines you now have. It might be more limited, or what sort of product lines you've added, which means that your customer might come back and say, that's fantastic. So you need to be communicating with them through a database. If you don't have a database, it's now time to start. And you just build one as you go. And we can talk about that, depending on what you do. Have a little competition, a welcome back from lockdown competition, name, email, address, or phone number, and somebody wins a welcome back competition, and then you've started your database, and off you go. The online versus physical customer. How does it work? How should your offerings differ between the online customer and the physical customer? Have you been able to change your model, your business model over the lockdown period to a more online? So we've seen, as I said, food change to delivery and ordering online. We've seen a lot of retail shops uplift their online, and most retail shops are pretty good at online anyway, but they've actually taken that to a new level. We've seen service industries that really didn't have to do online that much. They had a nice, pretty website, but they pick up the phone or email people. And a lot of that's happened to be online now, where there's big orders coming across, vast things happening. The deliveries that are occurring, the post office deliveries have quadrupled, if not more, over this particular period of time. And they have, as I said, thousands and thousands of more articles being transported every day through all being ordered online. So how have you been involved in that? And if not, you need to create an online service. You need to create a selling page. You need to create an opportunity for people to find you online with your socials, Facebook, Twitter, whatever it might be, and start to become involved in this. You know, it's very, it's a great space. Yeah, the other thing you can build your digital presence and build your database, as I said. The other thing you want to look at is what is your customer capacity? So for those with the physical space, how many customers can you have in your business at any given point? To supply, to enable you to have physical distancing, and are there peaks and troughs of activity? So can you communicate to your customer when it's best for them to come in? If you have a peak at 8:30 in the morning, you might want to communicate with your customers at 8 o'clock and 20 to 9, or 8:45 or 10 to 9 is a better time for them to come and be able to serve them quicker. And they may change their ways to get your product quicker rather than having to wait outside, down a line, down the road, whatever it may be. The question for how many people you can put in your customer is also relevant for businesses whose customers don't physically walk in. For me, it's the newfound knowledge and skills that we've developed over the shutdown period that allowed you to grow your serviceability and your market share. So what skills do you have that's enabled you and your team, as we mentioned before, to be able to reach out and grow your customer base? So each of us have a real chance to grow your customer base and manage when they come through your business so that your current people can manage that inquiry. So here's a chance for you to each time to grow your business. So you want to be writing down what actions you can take now to make sure that your customer knows you have capacity to service them, and capacity to service their connections, and capacity for other product line as well. It's a really exciting time. Okay. And recommence your customer facing opportunities. You can change up your customer strategy to match your change needs to gain market share. So how do you redefine your customer strategy to take advantage of the shifting customer preferences? How can you sustain your business by shifting your approach in stages to meet the changed expectation? So I don't want you to rush out and do everything today. That's why we're taking notes. But what can you do step by step? The actions you take now, great. Open your doors, make sure people are safe, get your product lines going, restock your businesses, get your staff back, sell a few products. But what other steps can you then take as you move forward? What other areas can you grow your business, and at what sort of period of time? In a month, I'll be doing X. In 3 months, I'll be doing Y. In 7 months, I'll be doing X as we grow our business back. Also, we want to really look at now, reconnecting with your old customers. As I said, your customers may have changed. So let's find out where they are. Let's let them know that you're back. You've got the ability to talk to them. If not, let's get onto social. Facebook covers a lot of avenues where you can jump into Facebook and you get hold of your customers and build. And once again, if you don't know much about this, then get somebody into your team who does, or employ someone who does. You find the consultants out there, the people who are specialists in this area, they too have been in lockdown and they're keen for your business. So let's sit down. They're not going to charge you an absolute fortune to get up and running. They're building their businesses and rebuilding. Take advantage of the fact that they need to work as well. So if you're not sure how to do social posts, go out and find somebody who does. Get them into your business, get them going, and let's get your business out there, reconnecting with your customer and introducing you to new customers. It's really, really important, but write down now the actions you can take to get things done now. How fantastic. You can look at what the most promising marketing opportunities for your business are, and how you build an online, build a customer trust with your customers. So over the last period of time, your customer may have lost faith in retail. They may have lost faith in how to buy. They may have been really nervous about going back into an environment where they're working and mixing with people. So I want you to have a look at how you can rebuild your customer trust and your loyalty. Most people want to be loyal to someone, but if you're not there, if you haven't been there for the last 6 or 8 or 10 weeks, these things change. I can get it from Jimmy down the road, or I can get it online, or I can get it here, or I can get it. You need to reach back in and actually grab that and have a look at it. How do you build an online model, maybe a hybrid or a blended business model? So we want to have a look at that as well, and write down, what you can do and what you can action to move forward. Also, once again, have a look at your service level agreements with your suppliers and your partners, and see if there's anything there in there that can give you an added advantage over your competitors. Sit down, talk to them, get in first before your competitors, have a chat about their business, work out where they are. The huge thing is we've been disrupted. Disruption creates opportunity. Nothing can be taken for granted. Again, every business is coming back. So talk to them. Let's work together, team. Thank you, partners. Thank you, supply partners. Let's work together and say, hey, I need this. I need that. Can we do it this way? Can we do it that way? What was doesn't necessarily have to be again. Okay, enhance. So what changes can you make to grow? We've touched on a few of those. We're going to look at our customer changes. This is where we plan to take advantage of all the future opportunities as our regular customers return, albeit with new needs and expectations. And that's why we need to understand what they are. We need to create new areas of success. For once we've discovered what these new needs and expectations are, we're going to have to work our business into satisfying them and win their custom and their loyalty. Technology is going to be hugely important. Whether you use it now to sell and service or your customers and your clients, or you use social platforms and websites to market and promote your goods and services. If you don't, you need to get into this. It has to happen for every single business. In the new future, you can't ignore the avenues, regardless of your business, your industry, or your size. So we're going to have a look at that. This is your opportunity. This is your disruption opportunity to grow your business, to grow your revenue, to grow your market share, to grow your profits. Once again, take the document down, write down separate sheets. I can marry this back later. Opportunities, outlining opportunities so you can build your plan for success. And here we go. What are the long-term changes to your customer base? How does this affect your revenue? So how will your revenue model change based on the long-term changes to your customer base? What have you got to do to make that a positive change? What's worked and what needs to change? So what are your industry relevant options that will be maintained or expanded upon? So you've worked, but you need to change because your customers have changed in some way. So what's been great, package it, lock it, move, and then add to it you're going to need to do based on your customers' expectations and then changing needs. What can your business learn from these changes and take with it moving forward? Making sure you've got the right people, making sure you're being able to enable your customer. And how can you change up your business to take advantage of these opportunities? And it's really so many opportunities that I'm seeing out there because a lot of people are just trying to come back to the old norm. And I just cannot stress, the old norm is going to be very difficult to replicate. There's a new norm out there and it's called opportunity. And this is where you've got a chance to really jump in. If you've been a new business and you weren't sure, now you can be. There's huge opportunity. If you've been an old business and you've had all the trade, that's vulnerable. And now you need to make sure that you reconnect with those particular customers. So what have you got to do over the next 3, 6, 12 months to make sure that you have a viable, growing, thriving business that has been enhanced? The other thing here is to think, what do your customers think of you? Should you ask them? It's a scary prospect, a frightening prospect. Asking your customers and clients to critique you. Maybe you give them a survey. SurveyMonkey, feedback on the telephone, ask them to drop a note into, if they're physical customers, into a feedback box. Look, it can hurt, but it can also save your business and create opportunity. I highly recommend that you build a little survey for your customer and client and see where they are today. You might get some fantastic new ideas from them and some new revenue stream opportunities, or some new products that you haven't got in your business that you need to get in your business, because they could grow that as well. So here we go, writing it down. How do you reinvent your business to take advantage of the online world? So what are the technology opportunities in the future? They're huge, massive, but how do you get to people? It's all very good to say, out there, there's plenty. So you want to be able to get out there. How do you reinvent your products and services to be relevant in an online world? Change up to be online or a hybrid of online. How would you sell your products, and what would you sell online? What could you add to the online side? And it is in any industry, in any service that this occurs, whether you're retail, whether you're food, whether you're manufacturing, whatever you might be. It might be the guy who runs the panel beaters. He needs to look outline now. He needs to look outside, because all of his people, his suppliers, the truck drivers, the towies, the people who you would refer to him, all those people have changed their way that they're doing things. They may not be there anymore. So everybody needs to look. Guys, engage experts. I highly recommend it. Specialists in the area, web developers, social media experts, bloggers, database specialists, and learn from them. If you're expert at your business, find and learn from someone who's expert at this business. It's a bit of a nightmare and a bit of a minefield, but actually it's not too hard to learn. But find it, get it right first, invest, get somebody up and running, give them an opportunity to kickstart their business, and do the deal with them for doing so. You may be surprised just how affordable it is to have somebody work your social media for you. And as I said, how easy it is to pick up and learn for yourself. Cannot tell you enough, go and do this. So where are we? For businesses to survive and improve and become successful and prosper, we need to be ready for a number of different scenarios. We need to create a number of different plans to ensure we're ready for future changes. We need to react to improve and have some versatility. We need to plan for future waves of pandemic. I'd like to say this is done and dusted. In Australia, we've done extremely well. But if we look past our borders, COVID-19 is a problem out there in the world, and we will not remain immune forever. So what does your business look like if and when the next lockdown comes down, or partial lockdown, or some of your business suppliers or customers get ill, or change up again? So what is plan A? What is plan B? What is plan C? And this is where I wanted you to deal with your notes. This is where you come back and add how you analyze your business and what happened in that first time. What did you react to? Next time, we're not going to react. We're going to be proactive. Oh dear, it's lockdown day. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. We're proactively putting in plan 1. This is what we've got to do to our business. This is where we are. This is how we communicate with our customers. This is how we flip online. This is how we tell our customers. This is how we continue to sell to them. Whatever that may be. Part 2, there's a partial lockdown. People are sick, whatever it may be in your business. These particular avenues can be written down, and so you just pull out that plan and away you go. Take the time now. This may not happen in the next 3-6 months, but it's likely. It's likely to happen in the next 12 months. Absolutely likely. Especially when the travel industry comes back online. So plan again. Plan for your customer changes. We've been on that. Today has been about the customer. How they're looking different, how you're looking different, what's been happening. So really, it's a fantastic time to have those plans all ready to go and react to improve. And establish your priorities over the next 3, 6, and 12 months. So really, really important to do that. So as I said before, how your business handles its return through the improvement phase. will determine your future business. So how you handle it will actually determine how you manage your business in the future and how well you go with your customer. Your performance, your reputation will be defined. Your customers, your staff, your suppliers, and your competitors will be watching to see how you do. They'll be watching to see how you pivoted. They'll be watching to see how you improve. They'll be watching to see how you prosper. So let's look at those three phases and create a blueprint for success for you to return, for greater revenue and greater profitability. So today, as I said, these little seminars are trying to help you to do that, to plan. We've focused on the customer. As I mentioned earlier, we've got 6 parts to focus on over the next few weeks, where we'll be bringing these little webinars to you. A chance to you to analyze, to reflect, to restart, to revitalize each one of your streamlines and communications of each area that we're going to look at. So I'm really excited about the fact today the customer is so important. The customer is revenue. Revenue means your business is going, but the disruption to the world allows us to take the opportunity to really get out there and try to grab some more business. So as I said, I've been David Colman. I really appreciate your time today. I hope there's been some takeaways for you through our customer-focused webinar today. We'll come back to our next one is on cash flow. Obviously, that's really, really important as well. And we hope to see you for that next webinar. Thank you very much.